Hello, friends, and welcome to 10 Points Under, where the Delta variant has a bit more of a positive connotation. This is Big Bullfrog, and joining me today is none other than Grey Waves. First time on the channel. Grey Waves, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. Happy to finally be on here.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you've made it on too. So like we've been talking, we haven't really interacted too much like live or anything. But I've definitely seen you around and playing games, and you've been a player that I like to watch play games, and I'm excited to talk through this game with you.
Yeah, so I actually started watching 10 Points Under a couple of months before I actually properly started playing competitive Heroscape back at the end of 2020.
Oh, really?
So I remember seeing some games where you covered like the online con and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was before I'd actually entered any tournaments, but after I'd begun to learn a bit more about the game competitively through the casts of Valhalla and stuff like that. So yeah, cool to finally get a chance to co-cast a game with you after this time.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's really cool to hear. I think I'm that's cool to see people coming into the game and being able to use stuff like 10 Points Under. I'm glad to hear that that's maybe hopefully useful, as well as like the Casters of Valhalla podcast. I think is also an awesome resource. So that's really cool to hear. And so with that, just looking at the game that we're talking about today too, especially because you'll be bringing some expertise into it since you played in this tournament. We're looking at a game from the Sir Heroscape Champions Circle League Qualifier number 1. Really quick, if I can just remind myself the details for this. So this was a Delta Classic tournament, 495 points, 15 figure limit. So a little bit of a lower figure limit there, which I'm pretty sure impacted some army building. I know when I was I didn't play in it, but I brainstormed some armies with Bodacious Blood while he was getting ready for it, and that definitely impacted some of my choices there. But so you said though you said you've got like a gauntlet that you made as you were preparing armies.
Yeah, so I did enter this tournament. I ended up placing 6th overall. And
Oh, nice.
I ended up making essentially a massive list of all the armies that I thought would be viable. There were 3 main ones that stuck out to me that were I guess the most important, or probably the ones where it was most important that whatever your army brought had a good matchup into.
Mm-hmm.
3 armies were the army that Veggie has right now, Ethereum ×4 with Kyova.
Oh, nice.
Capuans, like the Gladiators ×3, Crixus and Spartacus, which was not featured in this game, but that ended up winning the event.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3rd army no one actually ended up playing, so I was a little bit off the mark on that one, but it was the Warriors of Ashra ×4 Major Q9, or alternatively you could also do Sacred Band ×3 Parmenio Q9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, wanted to play Q9 that day because no one brought him. But those were the armies that I was most concerned about. And initially I was actually going to go with the Imperium army, because it's got a pretty reasonable matchup into all of those. But in the end, I decided against it because, well, I live in Australia. The tournament was beginning at midnight my time, and quite frankly, being able, quite frankly, having to think about and work out at 3 a.m. in the morning did not sound like fun. And so instead I ended up going with Martin Hound's times for the Fen Hydra.
That is totally fair. That's some pretty good rational decision making, I would say, for that. Um, but
It's
that's
just hard,
cool.
yeah.
Actually, so did you end up going against let's see, either the steamroller, the gladiator army, or the veggies army here?
No, I didn't. Um, I did play against a Raylan. Sorry, I did play against a Nilfarm Greenscales build that was a little bit different to the one that RyGuy's got here.
Oh, okay.
Uh, but yeah, not either of these two specific builds.
Oh, okay. So this will be a little bit. Well, I guess you'll have some cool insight then from Veggie's perspective here if you've messed around with that build. I'm really interested to see how this goes. I don't. I mean, it wasn't even that long ago, but I've already forgotten like who wins or loses this one or how this game goes. I do remember that because I was watching it on this side. I do remember it is a good game. So I'm excited to see how this one turns out. Actually, I guess for you, do you remember who wins this game or anything like that? And I'm sure you weren't. You were playing, so I don't know how closely
I
you
think
were paying attention to others, but
I think I do, but well, I won't spoil it for anyone that doesn't.
okay, that's totally fine. I was just gonna ask if you had a predicted victor, but if you think you remember, then we'll hold off from that question for now. For now, but sweet. With that, we'll go ahead and we'll kick this game off, and we'll see how it goes. So,
Yeah.
and while they're developing, one question that I've got for you, and that I'm sure a lot of viewers would be wondering about, is Empress Kiova in the Einar Imperium army. How like when do you like with your testing or when you were trying it out? When did you develop her? How did you develop her? Like, did you find order marker management there to be tough? That's the biggest question mark, I guess, for me when I'm looking at this army.
Uh, it kind of depends on the matchup. Um, so ideally, you don't want the opponent to be able to attack her while you're developing Imperium because that kind of just defeats the purpose of like bringing her in the first place.
Right.
I mean, it's a sort of thing that again changes a lot depending on like who you're facing, but also like the map, like potential spots that she can be put and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, generally just one order marker in the first round is all you need, but in terms of the specifics, yeah, it changes. And again, that's why I decided against going to this army because I knew that I'd like stuff it up at some point if I had to try and work that out during the middle of the night. Oh, and she just took 2 wounds
Yeah, nice
in real
early
time.
hit there for RyGuy with ice shards there.
Hmm.
Which we'll see. I do like I haven't messed around with Kiova and Einar Imperium enough. Even in like Delta events that I've been to, I just need to try it out. I do like how beefy she is for a cheerleader. I mean, she just took 2 wounds, but like 4 defense is really
Yeah.
nice, and then the 5 range aura is pretty cool for her.
Hmm. She's actually, I want to say she's, no, I'm going to say she's actually a better cheerleader for the Imperium than Raylan herself is. Because not only because, as you mentioned, she's got an extra defense dice, so she doesn't die as quickly, and her aura is one extra. Uh, like her aura is 5 spaces instead of 4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also just mathematically, so an attack of 3 versus versus a 3 defense Imperium in Jova's aura is only a 30% chance to go through, and that's actually slightly better than having 5 defense would be in that situation.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, so a 3v5, so like if you got Raylan 3 defense figure. A 3v5 is a 33% chance to go through, and then as I said, a 3v3 in Kyova's aura is actually only a 30% chance of dealing a wound. So the aura is actually slightly better than Raylan's in that sense. At if you're facing attacks of 3 and 4, and then I think when you get to an attack of 5 or higher, Raylan is better because you've due to how the aura works, you've got much better chance of like blocking like 1 or 2 skulls compared to like 3 or 4. But for most of the time, for most like attacks you'll be facing in a like reasonable tournament game, she actually has a slight edge over Raylan in that way.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm actually glad that you know the math on that because I had no idea. I was actually thinking, I'm like, I'm not sure which one is better there, but that's cool. And that does make sense that like for lower attacks it's better to re-roll your defense dice than to like versus like the big attacks there. And looks like RyGuy's maybe just going for that
Aggressive.
melee attack. Interesting.
Nilfheim fits. I guess he probably can. The big tree looks like he's kind of impeding his wings. Oof.
Holy cow, that's a big attack there.
I mean, she survived.
Yeah, yeah, and big defense too with that 5 defense with height there, which is pretty nice.
Mm.
That's a gutsy move from RyGuy, just going all the way in there. Which I mean,
The thing is, even actually, it's probably not quite as aggressive or as risky as it looks because there's no way for the Imperium to get any height attacks on Nilfheim
right.
the next turn. It was to outright kill Kyova, but then, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, like as long as he doesn't attack Kyova and kill her here with a green scale, then they won't be getting height on him.
Mm.
It's just not what I would expect there. That situation with Nilfheim, I'm usually seeing players like play more defensively and hanging back, but
I think RyGuy just made a slight sequencing error with attacking so he just attacked the Imperium that's adjacent to the jungle tree, but it probably would have been a better idea to attack with oh no, never mind. He could have attacked with the green scale that's adjacent to Nilfheim, attacked Kyova and potentially tried to kill her, but he didn't. Unless I missed it, it looks like he didn't actually do that, so he didn't want to give up height that turn. But otherwise, it would have been better to try kill Kyova first and then go for the other Imperium.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, if he was trying to get rid of that defense bonus, which saved that Imperium there, pretty nice. There's a little bit of a double team error going on there. It's okay. Looks like some technical difficulties going on.
Yeah. So I guess the age-old question in this matchup is like if you're facing the like Nilfheim green scales, is you kill the green scales first to knock out the attacks per turn, or do you just focus fire on Nilfheim and try to kill him, cut the head off the snake?
Right, yeah. And I'm interested to see how Veggie goes about that. Looks like maybe going for green scales in the back. I mean, with Einar Imperium, you could even potentially go for Raylan. I don't think he does that at this point, but
In theory, yes. I think Raylan is too far back on the map for that to be a good play here. But
yeah, there's just like not the great landing spots. But I mean, stealth flying does mean that like if RyGuy like opens up this back spot, for example, and there are Imperium at about here or more forward, they can go and engage her back there, which is just a play to watch out for. Actually, looks like he's going for
Actually,
Raylan there.
yeah, 2 wounds if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 2 wounds on Raylan.
I think on average it takes, yeah, on average it takes 7 attacks of 3 to, yeah, 7 attacks of 3v3 to kill her. So so in theory it's just like one attack of, sorry, one turn of 6 attacks with the Imperium, and then
That could
one attack
could
of.
be. How much does that change if he's attacking up at 4 defense? Because he's got a chance here where he could get 6 attacks on Raylan. But some will be rolling up.
Yeah, off. It's 3v4 is 0.57 wounds on average. So like 8 or 9 attacks.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. It's also proving how handy this having like stealth flying is.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's. I mean, you see it with Phantom Knights all the time. And the Einar Imperium stealth flying plus double attack, it just makes such a mean assassin unit.
Yeah, and with the ability to get like 6 attacks per turn on a single target, they can just nuke something out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. It was good block by Nilfheim there.
Yeah, some big attacks there. There's a very nice attack there and a very nice block. Looks like Nilf going for the ice shards. Ankiova hoping to get her out, but not quite.
Kiova's rolled 8 out of 10 shields against the last 2 attacks.
Just pretty solid. That's how you want your cheerleader to roll. Unlike Raylan, who hasn't been doing terrible, but could be doing better. Well, and that's another time that Kiova's aura has saved another Imperium, which makes it like I'm sure RyGuy wants to kill Kiova here, but then at the same time, if you kill her, then you're opening up that height spot for Imperium to attack down. So it's kind of like a blessing and a curse when it doesn't go through.
Yeah.
And let's see, that's none of the attacks that went through for RyGuy that time. That's a tough round. Or turn, I guess.
It's kind of interesting how in this matchup, you've got one army that like is completely like viable, completely like normal. You'd expect to see in just any standard event.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is like something that would be absolutely horrible if you were to bring it.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Like in fact, maybe I'll run this on this side real quick. But if you were to put both of these armies into the army builder, I wonder how big that point difference becomes.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Gotta know this real quick. Let's see.
And Veggie didn't manage to kill anything that turn, so they just both essentially had a dead turn, back to back. Okay, Kiova's gone now, so that's going to make it a lot easier for Nilfheim to start cleaving through the Imperium, or at least in theory, but nice couple of blocks he got there.
Yeah, pretty good defense. That was nice to be able to kill her with Nilfheim so that he could take the height spot with the green scale and block that off. And so this could be like if he starts cutting through the Imperium, then that'll be a nice momentum swing for him. If these attacks go through.
I was going to say, shouldn't he... Yeah, oh, there we go. The green scale should have had 4 attack because it's got height plus Nilfheim.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then you rolled an extra skull, though. It's okay. Okay, Veggie's turn. Interesting to see what he does with his Imperium. Okay, looks like he's going to target. Looks like he's going to try kill Raylan then with those two up there. And then even if the first Imperium manages to kill Raylan, this other one will still have 2 attacks on the green scales adjacent.
Yeah, which happened. So both cheerleaders gone now. So now it comes down to kind of like who can cut through the other army the fastest, which actually, I mean, I guess both armies have the potential for 6 attacks per turn. Different ways of accomplishing it, but... So, also, I just got to bring this up because I was curious, so I pulled it up on another tab. Standard points. The Nilfheim army is 385 points for the 2 green scale squads, Nilfheim Raylan, and the Einar Imperium army, Veggie's army, is 650 points. So that's almost a 300 point difference between the 2 armies here with standard points.
Yeah, the Imperium love Delta, that's all right. And
yeah.
That's a disengage. Okay.
Yeah. I think I kind of like that. Well, depending, I guess, as long as these attacks go as you'd expect them.
Actually, he had to do that, otherwise he'd only be getting a single attack on the Imperium this turn. Whereas this way, he can target 3 of them.
Yeah, so kill 2 of them, which is
average.
Good. I also like getting some distance.
Get a height back down from the green scale.
Yeah, and looks like 2 attacks on the one in the back. So I like that. That is one of the tough parts of this matchup is, like usually you can send out a green scale and tie stuff down, but stealth flying kind of gets rid of that advantage for you. Like if Veggie wants to, he can triple engage Nilfheim this turn. Or I guess end of round, so we'll see who wins initiative there. But like that would be a potential. I'm sure he doesn't do that because you want to develop stuff, and killing green scales is nice too. But like when you've got that edge or when you can basically just ignore the screen like that, it's a nice advantage for you.
Oh, that was a good initiative for RyGuy to win.
Mm-hmm.
He has the potential now to wipe out all 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, no, one of them's in range. No, unless he moves.
Yeah, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still only hitting 2 there, but I don't know if you can be more greedy than that.
Yeah, and depending which one dies, he may not be able to get any even ground attacks. Veggie might not be able to get any even ground attacks on Elf, but now he's
he's going closer.
He's moved on.
2, 3, 4, 5. Now he needs to kill both of these guys because either one of these ones could come up to this height spot. Okay, rethinking it.
Yeah, you realize that was probably not the best idea.
Let's see, pulling back though, maybe? Okay, so he's going with this position. Very good attack. Less good attack. But still goes through, so no height attacks.
That hurts a lot.
Yeah, that was a very good turn for RyGuy there.
Yeah.
Gets an attack down here. And 2 attacks on the back one. And gets the back one. Alright.
Yeah, man. If the Imperium on the 3 height, like triple hex just outside of the start zone had survived, then that would have been really nice. Like, or if it had just rolled, all it needs to do was just roll 1 shield.
Oh yeah,
at a 3, and that would mean that one. It would have been very nice for Veggie because then height attacks down on Nilf the following turn, but.
Yeah, 2 attacks of 4 on Nelf would be great right now. Solid defense from the green scale, and we'll see how Nilfheim fares. Looks like... Alright, only one wound.
Yeah, so what's... Oh, okay. He's stopped putting order markers on green scales. I guess that's because he only had 3 left, and so there was the potential for the veggie to kill all the green scales on his previous turn and then leave RyGuy with no order markers, but...
Yeah, I think that's a smart move, and now he's double disengaging to take that higher area. Which, yeah, I think that makes sense.
He hasn't committed to it yet. Because he's still thinking, okay.
Okay, so just one wound. Not bad. And yeah, because he would have needed perfect attacks to kill this, and that Imperium in order to deny height. So I think disengaging instead there makes sense.
Alright, that attack was blocked, and then
also blocked.
Okay. It's not a bad turn. Oh. Sorry, actually I guess it could have been better because he only killed one thing.
Right, yeah, not bad. Could be better, but and we'll see. Okay, so all 3 on Nilfheim. Looking to just take him out here. Let's see.
Ooh, okay.
Block. Solid blocking. Okay, another wound.
On 5 life. 5 out of 6. Ooh, okay.
Alright, barely. And does Nilfheim, I mean, and this game could just, had very much the potential to basically seal things if Nilfheim dies there, but...
Oh, that's a good, at least the first 2 rolls. Okay, that's another one.
Alright, so two man. Alright, and then let's see. So that was RyGuy's 3rd turn, so Veggie's last turn before end of round. This could be a spicy end of round here.
Yeah, so 3v4 is a 41% chance, and 3v5 is a 33% chance of going through. And then he's getting 4 attacks in, so I think on average, I believe he should, Veggie should at least deal at least 1 wound this turn, but, oh yeah.
Yep, and there we go.
It is.
Alright, so that's a...
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah,
So that's a dead Nilfheim.
Versus 3 green scales.
See, initiative goes to Veggie. Okay, so that is... I was gonna say, if RyGuy could get the first strike on those Imperium, then he's got a decent chance of killing at least one.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so one of the Imperium.
Well,
one of the Imperium, the one that he's highlighted, can hit the bottom one near the blue start zone.
Mm-hmm.
The other one can't.
Yeah, and neither one can quite get to this spot.
Yeah, if I'm Veggie, I probably send the one that he's highlighted down to kill the one by the start zone, and then probably just run away with the other one so that the green scales can't attack it the following turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because even though the green scales are throwing 2 attack dice and only 2 attack dice, you still just don't want to give the other guy the chance to, I guess, make the comeback.
Yeah, exactly. And well, even this attack is kind of like dicey too. Dicey. But because
Yeah,
like
I
if
guess
that doesn't go through,
if it
then this
doesn't
one
go
can
through.
take height. But I mean, I think I agree there. I think I would also still take that move, and then maybe move this guy like here-ish, just in case that doesn't go through, or I don't know. These squad melee versus melee end games are interesting sometimes.
There is a so it's 3v3. So if Veggie does take that move that you're highlighting,
Hmm.
there's a 75% of chance of being able to kill that green scale.
Okay, and that's pretty good.
So
Do you? Let's
that is,
see. Yep. So he takes that one.
it just
Let me
needs
get rid of
one
these
of two
markers.
50/50s. Because 3v3 is a 50% chance going through to hit.
Thinking about it. Let's see. I'm moving down here. That makes 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, 6. I guess one green scale could get next to him there, but well, let's see. Let's see. I mean, because like another play that could be made is like putting the Imperium to like here, for example, where they could get next to him, but he's got
Yeah.
height. But I don't know if
I
that's
mean,
even
one,
like,
two, three, four, five.
yeah, two V4s is, oh,
Oh, oh,
interesting.
okay. That's a bold. That's a very bold move.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this bottom one can't get next to them. Okay. And I'm making 4 attacks up. Gets one of them. But just one. But now only one Imperium can be attacked. So, okay.
Yeah, was it? And the bottom one is one, two, three, four, five, six. I see. It's
Yeah, I could
just
just
out
get
of range.
there.
Um, yeah, just out of range of being able to hit the Imperium. I suppose if both attacks went through, then I mean that's just the game.
Yeah, basically at that point. But there is like there's still that chance here of
Hmm.
if this next attack goes through, potentially this is this is the kind of end game state that I dread in my games where I'm like, oh man, I've got to like be really smart with my choices here.
Yeah, heart pumping, teeth clenched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Each die roll is just like,
this is weirdly. Yeah. This is a weirdly similar end game to. I mentioned that I played against a Nilfheim army in one of my games. This is a weirdly similar end game to it, where it was just like a couple of green scales, and the other guy had like the ninjas of the Northern Wind versus my Hydra and one Hound, and that sort of playing around of like, well, do I want to attack so that I can potentially kill him, but do I want to maybe is it better to just try dodge the attack, um, and let him come to me? And it looks like one that okay, we got one kill
yep, one
on the
kill there.
Imperium, so.
It's very nice. I would have said like probably should have come around to this hex here, but
Oh
so
yeah, that
two
would have
attacks
been
come
better.
back.
Ooh.
Might not nice defense. So if he
Mm.
can get this 2v3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, could come up here, but that doesn't let him attack. So yeah, I think that's a better
I think
spot.
still slight. Well, it's still even despite the number. Like sorry, it's still approximately even despite the numbers advantage for RyGuy. 2v3 is only a 33% chance, so 60%, 66% chance that the Imperium survives. Although with that attack, Okay, I'm wrong.
That'll be it. Not wrong. That's just how the rolls go. So, all right, there we go. And RyGuy takes the game there.
That was pretty clutch.
Yeah, that was very clutch. That was is that how you remembered how you thought it was going down, or?
I think I was talking to Veggie and I think he mentioned that Rygar won this game, but it was looking pretty like, um, it was looking like it was in Veggie's favor once Nilfheim went down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was sure maybe I was misremembering, but yeah, no, he indeed.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest, like I remembered the game being close. And that was I didn't remember the winner there, but like yeah, once Nilfheim went down, I'm like, oh well, I think Veggie just kind of cleans up here, but no, but RyGuy had the moves, and I mean like with those squad figures, and especially with like I mean, Einar Imperium are so like offensively strong, but they're also just I mean like they're just papers sometimes, and I think like Nilfheim had whittled them down to just enough for the green scales to finish him off. But yeah, that could have gone either way. That was a fun endgame to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I do wonder whether the aggressive play with Kyova at the beginning of the game, like moving her up onto that 3 hex on the first turn was make that could have been a little bit too like a little bit aggressive on Veggie's part, because I did note because you sort of noticed that towards like even the end of the game he still had half of his Imperium in the start zone.
Right, yeah.
Um, and I think the reason that happened is because putting Kyova in such a forward spot kind of forced him to neglect development a little bit and just focus on killing the green scales that are so and focus on like just getting the attacks in wherever possible. Although granted, Veggie is a much better player than I am, so I could be off the mark on that one, but
Yeah, but I
did
I mean,
notice I did notice that.
I think those are the good questions to ask though. Is like like Kiova, putting her here that gives you good aura coverage, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that like lets you come up to like here with your Imperium if you're expecting RyGuy to sit back, um, but yeah, I mean like once RyGuy dove right into that, it becomes a different thing, and I noticed that as well as like the development with the Imperium and leaving half of them in the start zone was I think hurting the end game there.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no, it didn't really play much of a factor in the early and mid game, but um, because he was still able to get like or 6 attacks in with the 3 that he had developed. But I think, I mean, Veggie would probably be able to tell us, but he might have put Kyova there so that um, he might have put Kyova there in response to RyGuy putting his Raylin on the 3 hex perch there, because putting Kyova there covers quite a few spots that Veggie could use to attack Raylin.
Yeah, that makes sense. I
So
because
yeah,
yeah, that covers all of these hexes that you might be attacking up with. So yeah, I think it makes sense. The early 2 wounds from Nil's Ice Shard, I think, is also like what contributed to like RyGuy being like, well, I guess I could just dive in here and go for it if Kyova's already got 2 wounds on her. But yeah, no, like I was I was expecting a slower game for some reason, even though I saw that it was a pretty short game on the like when I pulled up the video and saw the timestamp. I was expecting more defensive play, but no, I think it worked out pretty well. I think there were a lot of good plays on both sides. A very good
mm,
one to watch.
yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining me for this one, Grey Waves. It was great to have you here and great to talk through a game with you.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed being on. Thanks for letting me come on.
Of course, and I'd be happy to have you on again if we can get the. I know the scheduling's a bit of a different story when we're getting a guest from Australia. Really cool too, though. Actually, I think this is my first international. Oh no, I guess unless you yeah, we had somebody from Canada on. So, but this is my first inter-hemisphere guest, which is awesome to have.
Uh, I have to say I was very glad to see 10 points under like has come back after there were no videos posted for quite a long time. Um, I mentioned before that like I got into competitive Heroscape partially through Castles of Valhalla, and like through other resources like on the forums. But 10 points under, I guess, covers a bit of like an area that isn't really touched on so much by the other sort of resources that are available. Like, well, I guess what I'm just trying to say is that there aren't any. I can't think of any other like channels that just do like the breakdowns of like casting of individual games like this. And so it's how to say it. It was helpful as a newer player to, I guess, learn about like individual game states, because this I guess what 10 points under does isn't really covered by anything else on there. So yeah, no, it's a valuable resource.
Well, thanks. I'm definitely glad to hear that. And yeah, I mean, I like having this little niche here that we can cover with just breaking down games, and I'm glad to hear that it's helpful and that it's hopefully worthwhile. I'm also glad to be back with it. It's fun to be casting games again. I just really enjoy talking through them. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for that. Let's see. Before we sign off for today, Grey Waves, do you have anything that you would like to, I don't know, endorse, share, talk about real quick, or
Uh, I mean, I don't have anything like on the forums or anything I'd like to share. Oh, I will point out, uh, this is probably my one opportunity to do so, that um, so I entered CCL one and CCL two, and so just shameless self plug here. I'm currently top of the leaderboard for the CCL championship.
oh, are you
So
really?
I went 4-1. Yeah, I went 4-1 in CCL one with the Hounds, and then I went 3-1 and placed fourth with the most race with the most in the most recent one.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
considering that in other words, all how to say, you guys in the US need to step up your game if someone who's playing at 2 a.m. is managing to beat all of you at the moment.
That is true. That yeah. Hey, that is a very good challenge to issue out there. Um, that's awesome. Yeah, you're the only one at 7-2 right now. I just pulled it up, and so that's awesome. Way to go. That's very impressive for the time difference that you're working with there.
Thanks.
Yeah, and all of you in the U.S. here, yeah, like challenge issued next CCL coming up in September. Get ready for it. You gotta step up your game.
September 2nd. I'll see you then.
Yeah, we'll have to see that throwdown when that comes. I'm excited. Now that you've said that though, I'm gonna be like following you more closely. So hopefully that doesn't jinx you, but that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you
Yeah,
now.
I more think it's funny than any. I think it's more think it's funny than anything.
Yeah, no, that is pretty great. Well, and actually, wasn't it? Hang on, from the last one, wasn't the top five like um, the winner was American, but then weren't like the others in the top five both French and Australian?
But yeah, two Frenchmen, two Australians. Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cows and Wolves, my fellow countryman who managed to defeat, who was my one loss for the event.
Oh, really? Well, there you go. So, I mean, if that doesn't speak to the state of the game right now, then I mean, guys, this is like we've got to. I don't know. I guess the representation is good. Could be the argument, or how you spin that, but that's really cool.
And I'm sure that it'll get even better when the new Heroscape comes out.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to see if slash how slash like what they do to especially like broaden it to other countries and take it to outside. Actually, was it ever sold in like locally in Australia, or like have you had to get all of your stuff from? Okay, I was gonna say like that'd be a lot, but so
and I think they mentioned that one of the things they have mentioned is potential. I could be wrong about this, but I think I remember seeing a potential world championship being talked about.
Oh, from the news.
The release.
Okay.
Yeah, in the release notes. Or so. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome actually to have a world like an actual world championship. That'd be awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it, and we've got good things in store. But yeah, with that though, thank you again so much, Grey Waves, for joining on today. It was great talking with you and a fun game to talk through. Thank you, viewers, of course, for viewing. Remember what a wonderful world it is that you live in, and this will be 10 points under and out.